Now, everybody knows that to all intents and purposes, the internet is infinite. But that's not the same as saying your time isn't precious, and it's not the same to a lesser extent as saying my time isn't precious either. So for the sake of our time, I'm not going to talk about all of the very many aspects of performance that this Eversolo DMP A10 is capable of. You can read my review at sound-advice.online, but for now I'm just going to touch on the highlights. There are quite a few, but by doing it this way, hopefully you and I will still have a bit of our day left by the end of it. Now, if you know anything about Eversolo, you know it's a company that's not short of ambition. But this DMP A10 may be its most ambitious product so far. £3,599 buys you a network-attached music streamer, a preamplifier, a digital to analog converter, all in a large and beautifully engineered box with heat sinks and everything. Where network-attached music streaming is concerned, there's plenty going on. There's dual-band Wi-Fi, there's a couple of Ethernet sockets. It is DLNA and UPnP compliant, and it is Roon Ready too. Any music that you've got on a network-attached storage is easily accessed and dealt with by this machine. There's Bluetooth connectivity as well if you want to go down that route. As regards its credentials as a preamplifier, well, there's an absolute stack of inputs and outputs, both analog and digital. HDMI ARC, USB-B, USB-A, coaxial, optical, balanced and unbalanced analog inputs and outputs. There's plenty going on, and unless you absolutely insist on having a phono-stage for a turntable, I don't think there's any piece of equipment that you can't attach to this and have its input and volume control dealt with. As regards its credentials as a digital to analog converter, well, there's an ESS Sabre DAC on here that's good for 32-bit 768 kilohertz and DSD 512 resolution. You therefore need to explain to me why that isn't more than adequate. And in every respect, quite honestly, the DMP A10 performs beautifully. As a digital to analog converter, it is a match for or better than any of the digital equipment I've currently got knocking about here. As a preamplifier, obviously it's fully loaded and has a stack of fine volume adjustment. And as a network attached music streamer, it sounds brilliant. It is balanced, it is poised, it is insightful. It really kicks off if needs be. Its soundstage is enormous. Its control of attack and decay of low frequencies is such that your rhythmic expression is never in any doubt. It's just an extraordinarily accomplished and confident performer. I mean, it's no more than you're entitled to expect when you're talking about £3,599 for a product like this. But believe you me, it's by no means a given. So as far as value for money is concerned here, if you're in the market for a product like this, and you have a system that justifies this kind of outlay, you really, really need to hear this. Now, I know I said I wouldn't go on, and I don't want to waste your time, but it is worth just mentioning quickly how gratifying the two displays are on the front of here. There are two. If you want VU meters here, you have a choice of 7 or 8. The way the volume control displays can be finessed in any number of ways, or it can just display album artwork, or it can be a clock, and obviously you have a choice of faces. There isn't really an aspect of performance that Eversolo haven't considered, whether that's sonic performance, the sort of user interface, even the control app is excellent. And that's by no means a given, no matter how much you're paying for a product like this. This is admirable in every respect, and I would encourage you to hear one, frankly, whether you can afford it or not.